Hello, welcome to my Ufc Utica event recap. Today is the 3rd of June 2018. Sunday here in New Zealand. Usually they would be watching fights. Wish there was fights on every day, but then they wouldn't be as exciting. So yeah, back on the right track with the betting yesterday. Actually, my first ever event that I've swept all my bets, so I didn't miss anything yesterday. I got my 3 straight picks all coming, and then I also had, where is it? I only tracked 2 parlays and one. And they both came in. One was, I had Eubanks and Escobar. Escobar pulled out, obviously, so that kind of turns into a straight pick, I guess. But I think on my tracking it still comes out as a parlay, so whatever. I actually did a ridiculous 11-leg parlay that I didn't track, and it came in. I only put 50 cents on it, but it hasn't settled yet because Escobar was part of that as well. But the 50-cent bet was going to pay 27, but I guess that will come down a little without Escobar in it. So once that finally settles, then yeah, I will have that also. So a real good day yesterday. I think in total, like, I went up. Obviously not all tracked. What I tracked, I went up about, what was it? 13 units maybe. Yeah, just under 13 units, but with the untracked shit, I'll be up around somewhere just under 20 units. So a real good day, and real happy with how that panned out. Found that I think one of the most enjoyable things, I think I talked about this before, is kind of like looking at a card and it's like a puzzle and trying to figure out where the spots are. And I just realized I was wearing my hood. Yeah, finding the spots and figuring it out, and then yeah, super satisfying to have it come to fruition like that. So a real good day, back on track, and excited for the next event, which is obviously a huge one. Just go through the card. I was drinking some beers yesterday, so some of my memories might be foggy. There's a couple fights that weren't that exciting. I kept finding my attention wandering, but nonetheless, shout out to Hallertau Brewery again, because I was drinking the rest of the beers they sent me. Very nice. Anyhow, obviously the Aguilar Escobar fight was pulled, much to many people's dismay. Escobar gave the reason, saying that the commission said her lips were chapped. Obviously that's to do with dehydration and shit. So first fight I had money on. I placed a late bet on Jose Shorty Torres. He comes out, Brooks beating him on the feet, and then with the wrestling also, so it's super concerning. And I was just like, fuck, am I gonna have another bad week here? Second round, just ever so slightly, but it did feel like the tide was turning. Torres, and it was funny because I was watching it, I was like, oh, this, like, he appears to be invoking the spirit of Justin Gaethje here. It was very Gaethje-esque what he began to do in the fight, and then he referenced Gaethje in his post-fight interview, which was quite cool, I thought. But yeah, anyhow, Brooks, I'm sure everyone's seen it, goes to slam Torres in what was quite a spectacular finish, knocking himself out. When you're watching the replay in slow motion, how fucking far off the ground they lifted, it's nuts. So that happened. I was like, holy fuck, my luck has changed. And that bet cashed, obviously. So yeah, yeah, Torres got to be happy with that, regardless of how you get the win. got a win. And I feel like the tide was turning. I felt like he was about to turn that fight into his fight. Still could have ended up close, but I think he was beginning to edge it. So yeah, entertaining stuff. Anyhow, next fight also very entertaining. Shout out to, I think, dude's name's on YouTube, Irish Brother. Heaps of interaction on my YouTube this week, by the way. Heaps of conversation. Really enjoyed that. Thank you. Really appreciate people coming on and giving their thoughts and asking mine and having a chat. That's really cool. Yeah, the bro Irish Brother had mentioned Nathaniel Wood. Was really excited to see him fight. I was also excited to see him fight. I didn't know too much about him, but yeah, he came out against Johnny Eduardo, and Eduardo was winning on the feet. It looked like, and it looked like his shots were stinging, man. Like towards the end of the first round, Eduardo appeared to have Wood in quite a bit of trouble, and then they had an exchange against the fence, and it was quite apparent that oh no, we're sweet. My computer just shutting down on me. What was I saying? It was quite apparent that Wood was gonna swing for the fences if Eduardo went for the finish, and Eduardo backed off, and yeah, I mean, like, with the benefit of hindsight, you could say that was a bad move, but at the time, I think like Jimmy Smith was saying, you know, he's smart, he's gonna go back to distance and strike from there, and yeah, hard to say, but in the moment, I was thinking, fucking go after him. You hurt your opponent, go after him. Like, I like finishing instinct in a guy, and in the end, it cost Eduardo. In the second round, it looked like Wood clipped him a couple of times, but I still thought Eduardo looked better on the feet. But Wood clipped him a couple of times, and he shot, and then got caught in the dust. Beautiful dust choke from Nathaniel Wood, and great debut. Was his debut, right? Yeah. Anyhow, on to the next fight: Desmond Green versus Gleison Tibau. Green outstriking Tibau pretty easily. But man, yeah, hard to really rate that performance because he had an obvious striking advantage and didn't really go after it. Did a bit in the third round, started sitting down on that left hand, and he did hurt Tibau, but yeah, I don't know. A finish would have looked real good for him there, and he didn't get it, so perhaps a little disappointing, but good win nonetheless. Bilal Muhammad versus Chance Recounter. Should just be called Chance Encounter, which is what's the word? Serendipitous, given how he got this fight on late notice. Thought Bilal looked real good. He's pretty surgical. Chance, obviously difficult to get a late replacement opponent, especially a guy like with that body type. He was massive, yet Bilal was doing a great job of just getting inside the range and like picking him apart with like he had a real nice array of attacks. He was throwing all sorts of different shit and landing a lot and making Chance miss. So pretty good win there for Bilal. Difficult circumstances, and yeah, we'll see what happens with him next. Next fight, David Tamor versus Nick Lentz. Another fight I had money on. Tamor went pretty much as I predicted it. Tamor was able to keep it standing and kick the shit out of Nick Lentz. Lentz is fucking tough. Have to give it to him. So obviously the controversial things took place in that fight. I didn't really get the chance to have a close look at it, but I think the eye gouging was, if it did indeed take place, was probably accidental. He was trying to push his head off, and I think he might have got the eyes, but yeah, and then there was a grabbing the fence on a couple of occasions, but with my money invested in Tamor, I wasn't mad at him for cheating, so Yeah. Next fight, Sijara Eubanks versus Lauren Murphy went pretty much as most people were saying it would. Eubanks more powerful, better striker, and it just kind of played out like that for 3 rounds with Eubanks landing, Murphy missing, and Eubanks landing the more powerful shots. So good win for her. She looks, that division's thin. So yeah, she could work her way to a shot pretty shortly, depending on what happens with what's her name, Nico Montagna and Carolina. Yeah. Next fight, Jeepers, Sam Alvey versus Jean Vellante. Could quite happily never watch those guys ever again. I'm glad it'll at least be months before I have to fucking look at them again. Yeah, pretty terrible shit. Jean Vellante loses a fight he should have won, and Sam Alvey gets another win. Called out Corey Anderson, and then found out later Corey Anderson had a death in his family, so I apologize. So props to Sam Alvey for that. Next fight, one I was hugely invested in, my most confident pick, and got a little steam behind it at the face-offs, was Julio Arce versus Daniel Tamor. One of those ones that makes you real happy when it plays out exactly how you had described it would. I said in my video last week that I didn't think it mattered what approach Daniel Tamor took, either if he came out aggressive or if he came out more measured, that regardless Arce was gonna get a read on him and then begin dismantling him, and that's exactly what he did. And yeah, I think just Tamor was real outmatched. I saw some people saying that, you know, like Tamor has real striking pedigree, and I didn't see that when I was studying him. I saw a guy with pretty don't know if it's fair to say average striking, but not amazing anyhow. And Arce looks like the consummate professional. I thought the face-off thing that took place was a metaphor for how the fight was going to play out. Tamor coming in all silly and shit, and Arce just relaxed. Something I really like about Arce is his corner, the dynamic they have in between rounds, and you can see Arce is like really enjoying himself, and his corner encouraging that, and just a super kind of relaxed, fun approach, and he is speaking to the corner, he's telling them what he's seen, and just, yeah, real good corner in there. I thought, don't know who his guys are actually, I should look into that, but yeah, big one for Arce, getting a rear naked choke. I think it was his first finish in a while, so really good for him to get a win that way, and be interesting to see what's next for him. Ben Saunders versus Jake Ellenberger. Ben Saunders looking very much like the white Sagat from Street Fighter, getting that crazy KO early on. Didn't even, Ellenberger's chin shot. So yeah, and then Ben Saunders is in his post-fight saying he can beat any welterweight in the division. I was like, no, you can't. Walt Harris versus Daniel Spitz. Fucking these two guys looking like, well, especially after watching the Alvey Vellante fight, light heavyweights, and then Harris and Spitz come out and fucking fighting like, I don't know, lightweights almost. Harris is fucking fast, man. It's crazy. He got that KO of Spitz, so great win for Harris there. He looked really, really improved. And I fucking hope he is, because heavyweight needs some more guys. Gregor Gillespie versus Vince Pichel. Submission in the second round. Trying to remember what took place in this fight. I think it was just Gregor wrestling and controlling the fight. And good one for him. So that was the last. Gregor Gillespie, all my parlays were riding on him coming up to the co-main event, and he they were offering me cash out money, pretty good cash out money. I was like, oh fuck, should I cash him out? I was like, nah, Gregor's gonna get this win, and he did. All my bets won, and I was like, fuck, sweet, I can sit back now and enjoy this main event. I got no money riding on it. I can just really enjoy this and kick back and watch it. So I was all buckled in, ready for a great fucking, like, at least 3-round battle. I thought this fight was gonna go some miles, and fucking Moraes comes out with the crazy head kick knockout. 33 seconds in. I think one of the fastest finishes in a main event ever, be up there anyhow. Fuck, you gotta feel bad for Rivera. He hadn't lost a fight in like 10 years, and then came out, gets his head kicked off straight away, and just fight game's fucking cruel, man. Like, think about that. 10 years winning, just winning all your fights, building towards something. I think had Rivera won this fight, he would have been next in line following Garbrandt and TJ. But now he's got some more work to do, as if he hasn't done enough work already, the poor guy. And then as for Marlon, hard to argue that he isn't next in line now. That's a pretty impressive win, and his last 2 fights have had very impressive finishes. So yeah, Marlon could be a problem for either TJ or Cody. Exciting fights, either one. So real excited about to see what happens there. So yeah, all in all, great event. I think, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it was funny, like that build up, heaps of entertaining fights, and then you're just like, holy, all right, this main event is gonna be the shit, and then like that, it was over. But yeah, good event overall. I think, yeah, lived up to what we expected. Another entertaining event. It's funny, like, lots of people criticize the amount of events the UFC put on and say that it thins them out. But man, like, look at this card. There ain't big names on it, and it was really entertaining. They can put on a lot of good fights, and personally, I'm happy with the amount of content we get. Especially now that I'm gambling, because I want to gamble all the time. Shout out to my friend Sigrid, who's been tailing my bets, and she, I hit her up yesterday, and she couldn't follow all my bets because she's using TAB, and I was like, well, get a bet 365 account. She's like, I got one, but I'm not allowed to use it because I end up wasting all my money. I lost $60 on betting on amateur tennis, so she's out of control. Shout out to Sigrid. Yeah, so great event. News came out, I think it was yesterday, so Ariel Helwani talking about they had planned a mini tournament type thing for lightweight division, where they were going to have Conor and Khabib fight, and then GSP and Nate Diaz fight, and then the winners meet for the title. Obviously, Conor and Khabib would have been title fight as well, but so strange, I think. Like, with lightweight being so stacked, why are they trying to throw GSP and Nate Diaz in the mix? Seems insane to me. I personally have no desire to see GSP fight anymore. I thought the fight with Bisping was farcical, wasn't entertaining. It was just silly, really. And now they're trying to, like, put him down 2 divisions and have him enter the title picture at 55. Just seems insane and makes no sense. Like Conor, Khabib, Tony, Kevin Lee, you got all those guys all gunning for that spot, and those are exciting fights. I'd happily watch Tony and Kevin Lee again, and I would, just off the top of my head, I think I would favor Lee in that fight, in the rematch, if he came out healthy. But yeah, so just insane that they wanted to do that, I thought. Next week's card. So I haven't had a good long look yet, but trying to figure out some spots, and this one looks tricky at the moment. I see a lot of people really confident in Blades. I don't know how I feel about that. He had a good performance against Hunt, but what does that mean now? And yeah, and I mean, Overeem could be on his way out, but I don't know, every now and then he'll do something freakish, either freakishly stupid or freakishly brilliant. So yeah, I don't know if I'm super confident in Blades. I think I like Rob versus Yoel, but then once again, Yoel's very fucking scary to bet against because he can do crazy shit. Really looking forward to studying RDA versus Covington. Seeing if I can find value in that. I like RDA a lot, and I would like to see him get another shot at a title. So I'm hoping he comes through, but that should be entertaining anyhow. Lots of people putting money on Holly Holm, which to me seems crazy. Let's just look up Holly Holm's recent record. You know it ain't fucking good. What? Holly Holm is really good at losing close fights. So I find it really strange. I mean, obviously I got to go look at Megan Anderson and see what she has, see how she fights. I don't know even if I've seen her fight. I think I have, but it was a long time ago. Obviously she's been out for a long time. But let's just look at Holly Holm's last fight. I think her only recent wins is Bitch Kohar, and then the last one before that goes back to the obviously famous Ronda Rousey knockout. So yeah, lost to Cyborg, win over Bitch, lost to Jermaine Durandamy, lost to Valentina, lost to Misha Tate, and then there's a win against Rousey. She is on a good streak prior to that, actually, a bunch of fights, but not against great competition. I even remember when she entered the UFC. Remember how much of a big underdog she was versus Rousey, because she had really close fights with people who didn't really seem to be on that level, and then Rousey came in and fought like an idiot, and she got that knockout. So, but yeah, prior to that, I think she'd been winning reasonably close decisions, split decision win over Raquel, a much younger Raquel. That's going back to 2015. So yeah, I'm surprised that a lot of money is coming in on Holm. I think I like Tai Tuivasa versus Arlovski. He's looked fucking exciting so far. Real excited to see him perform again too. That dude's entertaining in the cage and out of it. So fight week should be good also with Tai Tuivasa around. Fucking CM Punk and Mike Jackson. Keen to see CM Punk get a hiding and fuck off into MMA obscurity. Gedalia versus Esparza. Definitely fancy Gedalia in that fight. She's tough as fuck. So I'm going to have a good look at this card during the week. Benavidez versus Pettis is an exciting fight. I think I've seen a bit of money coming in on Pettis, and he's pretty heavy underdog, so going to investigate that. Had a suggestion during the week from someone on the YouTube saying, you should include your fight to watch and fighter to watch, so I'll try and remember to do that this week. What else is happening? Yair Rodriguez is back in the UFC, so that's a crazy turn of events, and apparently it looks like they're booking him and Zabit, is it for 226? So real exciting fight there. Real excited to see Zabit get back in there. that dude's fucking crazy, and so is Yair. So that could be a really, really exciting fight. Fuck, Rashad Evans back this week. It's nuts. See what happens there. And Guida, fucking, those guys are relics now. So yeah, just wanted to say I appreciate everyone watching. The fellow gamblers I'm talking to on Twitter and whatnot, really enjoying that. Getting some props from those dudes, and yeah, really appreciate that. So please do continue to comment, like, and subscribe my videos, please. I do have so we're looking at moving house shortly. We're gonna move out into the country, and I want to get a room where I can set up a proper set. Then I'll get a proper camera. I'm going to be able to re-monetize my YouTube channel again soon, so then I can look at Super Chat and all that bullshit. Obviously we'll need yeah, people to participate with me and make conversations happen, but that's exciting. So looking at moving on those things very shortly, which I'm excited about. So yeah, contacts are in the description. louknux DTD at Twitter and Instagram, and then my email is louknux@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to 225 and getting some more money again. I feel like I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like I've figured something out. I'm gonna continue to do like untracked, because what I figured out is I was betting too many fights just because I want to have stakes in the fights I'm watching. I want to be watching them, be excited about the bets. So I'm going to do like crazy long parlays and do like 50-cent $1 bets that I don't track, so that can satisfy my urge to be financially invested in all the fights, or a large majority of the fights, but then I'll do sensible bets, which I'm tracking, my straight picks, and then maybe some small parlays. Parlays came off this week, so back on that boat again. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Looking forward to 225 and getting some more money. Choice.